Hello, beauties. Thank you for watching the vlog this week. We have been talking about decision making all week. I've shared a couple stories, and also we had Thank You Thursday yesterday, and today is the wrap up of our conversation on decision making. Monday, I shared a story with you about a chef who went against the grain and did what he wanted to do. I also shared a story this week about someone who chose not to take the opportunity in front of him, even though it was known, and instead did the thing that he did not know. I shared a story with you about a question someone asked me of what do I want, and that was a big changing moment for me in terms of how I think about things, and it's a tough question I still have to ask. It's evolving all the time. And today I want to share a few things with you about what I do to help me make a decision. So I'm someone who makes decisions in a somewhat methodical way. I tend to take a similar approach, whether I'm trying to decide what I want to eat for lunch or, where I want to go on vacation, or big decisions like what's the direction of our company. I really take the same approach, although I spend less time on what I want for lunch. The smaller decisions take less time, right? So a couple of the things that we do is, the first thing is to try and remember to trust my instinct. That usually my gut feeling about something the first time is the right thing to do. But it's hard to trust that instinct and to follow through on that sometimes, isn't it? We think, well, that can't be the right idea, and then we second guess ourselves. So the second thing is, don't second guess yourself. That doesn't help you. We get into the cycle of analysis when you second guess yourself, and you don't end up making a decision, or you delay a decision, and then you can miss opportunities. The third one is to ask a lot of questions. What is the why behind what you're doing, right? Now, if I'm going to take my simple example of going to lunch, well, why I need to eat is because I'm hungry. So let's go find some food, and that's a very simple one to address. But when you're looking at something much larger, like why would I want to move across the country for that job opportunity? Why would I want to take on the risk of opening a business? Why would I want to take a leadership position in the company? Why would I want to change the direction of the company? Those are really big questions, and you need to understand the reasoning and the thinking behind them, and really to make sure that you all know the purpose. Because if you don't know the purpose or your strategy, the big goal of what you want to do, it's going to be very difficult to come to any sort of conclusion. And then the other thing that I think is really important is to define the criteria that matter. Not just the why, but having a common cause, having a common understanding of the things that matter. Not only the strategy, like we talk about in the asking of questions, but also what's the objective? What are the tactics we need to take? How do we make this happen? And that people together ask questions. So it can't just be me by myself, right? It's that we say together, okay, what are the things that we're going to look at? If we're going to change the direction of a company, not only do we need to ask the questions of why, but we need to understand, when the decision has been made as a group, all of the reasoning that went behind that and the criteria we need to go forward so that we can have success. And there's a lot of work to be done with that. That's not a quick conversation, although some people have said that you could just have a hallway convo about the criteria and move forward. So it really depends on you and the culture of your company. I also think that when you feel like it's right, it probably is. There's something happening right now with our idea, and this comes back to the first point of the instinct, where when you have the instinct that the solution is available and you maybe have found it, and you don't second guess yourself, and you ask all the questions and they're validated, and you have the answer that says, no, your instinct is right because you have experience. Instinct isn't just a feeling. It's based on experience and your knowledge and years of having gone through things. And you know the criteria. Then what happens is you start making your idea true. You start owning your decision, and things fall into place. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but boy, we're sure in it right now. Everybody I'm talking to about this idea we have, they validate it, they ask questions about it. For sure, they're taking the same process to see if the decision makes sense for them, but there's just so many things, and it almost feels like so much coincidence that it can't be coincidence anymore. And we start to use phrases like it's meant to be, and the timing must be right. Some people might use words like it's an omen or a sign. For me, it just says that we took the steps to take to consider our decision carefully, and then we executed on our plan. And it really, all of the other things, maybe it's fate, maybe it's destiny, all of that stuff. I mean, there's a magic to that, and I like the element of magic, that there's a little sparkle in an idea, and that's part of the reason something catches on. But really, we carefully thought through what we wanted to do, and then we executed to our plan. So that's how I make decisions. We'll talk more about all sorts of other things in the next coming weeks that you've been sending us in. We love your questions and your comments, and I especially want to say thank you for some of the personal messages you've sent me. They mean a lot, and I'll see you next week.